Well, it's Buzzword here, covering the 2018 London Underground Customer Excellence Awards, here at the Electric Palace in Camden, where, once again, the atmosphere can only be described as, well, electric. Yet again, station teams pitch against each other to find out who's been able to provide the ultimate in customer service across the network. This year, competition is tougher than ever before, and you could cut the atmosphere here with a knife. Lucky Hound from Barking has already run away with the most popular personality award, voted for by the customers themselves, so clearly a lot of dog lovers out there. The Going the Extra Mile prize went to Amersham for the third year in a row, and this year's new prize, Best Sandwich on the Network, was unsurprisingly awarded to West Ham. But I know the prize that everyone wants to hear about is the Integrated Team Award, where every member of the team, from GM to CSA or train operator, gets awarded with the prize for the best customer service team. This prize is based on feedback, on customer experience, on making every journey matter. This is the prize that all LU staff want to win. The prestige couldn't be higher, and the competition is really tough. But who will it be in 2018? And what a year it's been. I know every team wants to win this one. This is the one that people across London Underground have been working hard to perfect for the last few years.
Oh, I don't know why I'm so nervous. I haven't wanted anything this much since Spurs last beat Arsenal.
Oh, don't start that again. We're up for a team award and I don't want us to fall out at the ceremony.
It would just be so good if we could win, especially when you think about what we were like before. I mean, talk about transformation. What's happened to our team is like Clark Kent turning into Superman. It's nothing short of a miracle. And the customer comments have been fantastic.
You can say that again. I mean, there's no way we would have all been stood here up for the same award a few years ago. We were too busy competing to notice we were all part of one team.
Yeah, but let's put it this way. It's a miracle I'm standing here with a Derby County supporter, let alone calling you one of my friends.
Oh, you can go off people, you know. It's amazing, isn't it? How far we've come.
Mm-hmm. You're right. I mean, when I think back on how we used to be... I'm a senior manager at London Underground.
I'm an area manager. I'd like him to think I'm a leader, but really I'm more of a strategic manager.
I'm a supervisor. That makes me a day-to-day manager.
I just work here.
Me, I'm one of their customers, and I'm still waiting for a train. I don't know who they are. To me, they just work for the tube, so if I don't enjoy my journey, they're all to blame.
I look up to no one. I look down on her because I'm her natural leader.
I look up to him because he's a natural leader. I look down on her because I have her future in the palm of my hand.
I look up to her because I want her job. I look down on him because I'm his day-to-day manager.
I don't look up to any of them, because in the real world, they have no idea what actually goes on at my station.
It's the 21st century. It's not my place to look up or down on anyone. But if they behave like that, it's going to have a knock-on effect on my journey, and not in a good way. The train's still not here, and nothing up on the board. Great.
As a natural leader, I know where we're going and why. I tell her the where, but she's not ready for the why.
As a strategic manager, I just need him to tell me the where. I supply the how. I tell her the how, but she's not ready for the where.
As a day-to-day manager, I just need her to tell me the how. I supply the what. I tell him the what. He's not ready for the how.
I don't know where we're going. For example, ticket office closures. I don't know why we're doing it, and I don't know how we're going to get there. What I do know is once she tells me the what, I'm going to have to do all the sodding work to get us there.
I know where I'm going. I'm going to Cock Fosters, if this train ever arrives. But if this lot can't improve their teamwork and communication, I've got a feeling that this journey's going to take a lot longer than I thought.
As a natural leader, I review her performance once a year and discuss her current objectives and plans. Then I tell her to pull her finger out and do it better.
As a strategic manager, I review her performance every quarter. I point out where she's going wrong and how to put it right and set objectives for the coming year. Then I tell her to pull her finger out and do it better.
I brief him daily. I tell him what to do and what he did wrong yesterday. Then I tell him to pull his finger out and do it better.
Her, I see far too often. Her, I see once in a blue moon and she never speaks to me. Him? I've no idea who he is. I just know he wants me to pull my finger out and do it better.
I heard with this making every journey matter thing that they were all going to pull their finger out and make my journey better. I hope they meant it.
For me, leadership is all about vision.
For me, leadership is all about organisation.
For me, leadership is all about effective daily communication.
Nobody bothered to ask me.
To be honest, I don't care what leadership's about. All I know is the train is now 10 minutes late. There's been no announcements. I can't see anybody in uniform to ask, and I've missed my appointment. Somehow here, leadership's not working.
I know my place is to look down on them and to one day lead this organisation. And until then, I keep my head down.
I know my place is to look up to him, moan about everything he says behind his back, and one day sit on the exec. And until then, to keep my head down.
I know my place is to look up to her and one day take a job. Until then, keep my head down.
I know my place and it's not here. I'm going to go somewhere where they know about leadership.
Oh, bugger.
Unfortunately, as a customer, I don't have the choice to go anywhere else. But if this lot treat me like I did have a choice to go somewhere else, maybe they might get their act together and I might get the service I'm looking for. Are you listening? I could drive, you know, or get a taxi, or better still, I could send another letter to Boris. I got a lovely reply from the last one.
We better sort this out.
So it's a tube map. So far, so familiar. What's it mean?
It looks like I'll be following the red line and you'll be on the blue.
But sometimes we're connected.
Well, that's because we're both on the leadership journey.
I've never seen myself as a leader. A manager, yes, but not a leader.
Maybe they want you to start thinking of yourself as both.
Chance would be a fine thing. Like you're going to let me do any leading.
So maybe we all have to change. Although I don't see what's so hard about being a leader. Isn't this just another way about telling us the glaringly obvious? It's common sense, isn't it? I just tell my team what to do and make sure they do it. And as long as I get daily updates and they don't make any mistakes, everything's fine.
Yes.
All right. So what do you think leaders should do then? Hug their staff every day?
Well, for me, it's more about trust, really, and knowing yourself.
Yes, I do know who I am.
No, I mean knowing what you're like and how to get the best out of people and inspire them. I mean, in each of us, we're all different, aren't we? All have our ways of doing things and our foibles. And sometimes you have to change how you lead according to who you're talking to, if you see what I mean.
Not sure that I do, actually.
Well, there's this tool called Insights that I've done, and it's really helped me to understand why I do things in a certain way and why I avoid other things like the plague. It's an online questionnaire that you complete, and it tells you your psychological preferences.
Psycho what?
The way that you're kind of hardwired to, like, do things. It doesn't mean that you're always going to do things that way. It just helps you to understand what you do automatically.
Look, you're going to have to do better than that, you know. Look, I'm lost.
OK, look. In Insights, there are 4 different colours that represent 4 different personality types. Each one has a different way of communicating, different strengths, different ways of even thinking. So if you're red, you want it done and you want it done now. You know how you get really impatient with us when we walk into a meeting late and you want to get it started, get it sorted and go? Well, that's what they call fiery red behaviour. And then there are the sunshine yellows. They're the ones in the meeting that always have loads to say. You know, the lot that cheer us up when we're all getting a bit depressed by it all. Then there are the greens. You know Mary, how she's always so calm and organised and patient. She's so reliable and looks after us all. And then there are the blue types. They're the calm but clever ones. Like Chris. He always asks for loads of detail and then he checks with us that we're not just going to go off and do something without thinking it through properly. He never gets involved in gossip or noise and he usually manages to ask that killer question.
OK, so we're all different. I get that. I wonder which one I would be. Tell me a bit more about the colours.
Well, if you imagine you were a doctor and I was coming in to see you, if I was red and red are extrovert and thinking, I might do it like this. Good morning, doctor. I was playing squash yesterday in the championships and I got to the final and fell over on my arm. Now I have to play again next week in the area championships and want to know how quickly you can fix it. If I was yellow and they're extrovert and all about feelings, I might do it like this. Hi, doctor. How are you? What a lovely day it is. Great weather for a barbecue. Must invite some friends over at the weekend. Anyway, I was having a great game of squash with some friends and Sarah, who I haven't seen for ages because she's got herself a boyfriend now and you know how that is. Anyway, great game, and me being the plonker that I am, I fell flat on my face and I've hurt my wrist. So could you kindly have a look at it and tell me if I can carry on as usual? It's been aching a little bit, but not too bad. Anyway, how are you? How are the family? And is your little boy still mad on cricket? And if I was a green patient, put my green hat on now, green are introvert and feeling. I might do it like this. Good morning, doctor. How are you? Oh, you must get fed up with us all complaining all of the time, especially when you're not feeling well yourself. How are the family? Well, I was playing squash yesterday with some friends. We were playing for a charity tournament and I rather stupidly fell over on my arm. Now, I don't really want to take up too much of your time because there's a queue in the waiting area, but just wondered if you could take a look at it, please, and just tell me if I need to go to hospital or not. Thank you so much. And if I was the blue patient, put my blue hat on, blue are introvert and thinking, I might do it like this. Good morning, doctor. I am a little concerned as this appointment was arranged for 20 minutes ago and I shall now be late for my next. I was playing squash on court 3 at the Fairweather Country Club last Thursday and I fell over at the back of the court whilst reaching for a shot with my right arm forward and my left ankle twisted and I fell over. Now, I landed on my wrist and since then I've been having pains into my arms for the last 24 hours. I would like you to have a look at it and give me your diagnosis and also want to find out, will I need to go to hospital? And what are the risks of MRSA in hospital? I'd like an introduction letter from you with today's date, please, and I will, of course, be seeking a second opinion, etc., etc.
Yeah, that's good, that is. I see what you mean. I can see a bit of all of the colours in me.
Well, you will, because we all have all 4 colours in us, but we're likely to have a preference, one that we exhibit more often than the others most of the time.
So I wonder what others see in me. I mean, it's all very well knowing who I am, but what does everyone else think?
Good point. So part of the journey will be to find out and think about the impact that you have on others, especially the people that you're leading. You need to find some truth tellers, colleagues that will be giving you honest feedback, and ask them to think of some words that best describe you on your best and worst days. That way you can join up what you know you're like with how others experience you.
That all sounds a bit risky to me. And no one around here would probably dare tell me anyway.
Well, they would if you assured them that you want them to tell you the truth in order to help you. That's why I said that trust is so important. You have to know that I'm coming from the right place, that I've got your back. I'm not just giving you feedback because I want to have a go at you. I'm doing it because I want our relationship to improve and also to give you a chance to consider how you come across to me sometimes. Try me.
Go on then. What am I like?
Well, on your good days, you are purposeful. And on your worst, you come across as, well, angry.
Well, that's fair. I do get angry some days, especially if things go wrong.
Which is fine, but sometimes that can come across as a bit intimidating. And it stops me from making decisions without checking with you first. And I know that annoys you, but if I'm really honest, I'm frightened of what your reaction's going to be.
Well, at least that's honest. So what do I do now?
Well, it says here that you've got a Groundhog Day coaching session.
Groundhog Day? Isn't that the film with Bill Murray in it? The one where he was stuck in the same day until he changed the way he did things?
Exactly. The session deals with things that you do again and again in the same way. So, for example, the next time someone makes a mistake and you're about to blow your gasket, you'll have a strategy up your sleeve to try a different outcome. Until we change our behaviour, our old habits, nothing will change. And it will make all this talk about leadership meaningless. It has to start with us and what we do as leaders in order to make a difference. Otherwise, we'll keep doing the same things and getting the same outcomes.
Yes, all right. So, back to this leadership journey then. What else will we do?
Well, it looks like there are going to be loads of workshops which will give us a chance to think and practice and get some direct feedback about how to manage business performance, my stakeholders, my teams, how to make good decisions, and some online simulations. Ooh, I love those. Well, it will give us a chance to think about what qualities a great LU leader needs to have.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Well, what would you say they are then?
Well, I guess, trust would be up there. If I didn't trust my leader, I wouldn't follow them. And you can't be a leader if you don't have anyone wanting to follow you. You'd be more like the Lone Ranger then. And on that note, delegation will be up there too. Delegate well so that everyone makes decisions at the right level. It'd be so much easier if I didn't have to do everything myself.
You can say that again. Well, I'd really like it if we could all manage performance better. And I don't just mean bad performance, I mean celebrating and noticing good performance and saying well done and thank you more often. Really supporting and developing each other, not just telling each other what to do and by when.
Like I do, you mean?
Well, we're all on a journey after all. We all have things to learn, even when it's hard.
You know what? I think you might be right, though I hate to admit it. I want London Underground to be a place where we all feel responsible for our own areas, are supported to make business-like decisions and work closely with other teams. It's about giving the customer a great experience.
So what am I going to get at these other stations on the map?
Well, those are more about how you lead and manage people.
Well, I've always seen myself as a people person, so that should be a doddle.
Not the first phrase that came to my mind.
What are you talking about? People love me.
We're not talking about your mother here.
Actually, we haven't always got on, if the truth be told.
No, we're talking about the different people you have to deal with in the job and the people who can help you do that job better.
Like who?
Well, through the magic of film, we can meet some of them now. Hello, I'm what they call a stakeholder.
Looking good.
And it's not just British Transport Police. I can do them all. I told you, this is the magic of film.
OK, go on then, impress me.
A retailer in your station. Local authority.
Good.
Local interest groups.
Suits you.
Maintenance.
Very fit.
All underground staff.
Very official.
Trains.
I'm loving the hat.
TfL managers.
Very officious.
Actually, the list goes on and on. But providing the kind of customer service London Underground wants for its customers means you have to be confident in dealing effectively with each one of us. Think you can do that?
You're a bit like Mr. Ben. But it's interesting. I've just never thought about it like that before.
Precisely. So the programme's going to give you the opportunity to create a map of all your stakeholders, drawing on the stakeholder list from TfL and London Underground, consider what their needs are, and develop the skills that you need to influence them.
You mean get them to do what I want?
Something like that. But it also gives you the chance to meet with them, hear what they want and how they'd like to work with you.
OK, sounds good. So are you now then? Are we done with the magic of film?
Yes, I'm just me now. So, the next two modules focus on how you manage your team.
Well, I'm already good at that.
Well, if you say so. But things are changing. With the new structure, you'll have more time to manage your staff and develop them so they become more effective in their role to deal with others. You'll need to spend time to really develop them. More of a coach as well as a manager.
And they're not sending you on this module?
No. And what do you mean by that?
No, I just thought it'd be right up your street.
Right. Well, perhaps you can give me a few tips once you've done it.
Don't worry, I will.
Anyway, these two modules are all about giving you the opportunity to practice your skills with expert feedback. It'll give you some really useful tips and techniques to deal with all sorts of situations that you might face.
Such as?
Well, for instance, it might help you to be able to support your CSMs manage their teams without you having to actually do it for them.
Now that would be useful. I can see a couple of them coming to me to sort every problem member of staff they've got.
Which would defeat the object of the changes. The idea is to free you up so that you become more of a leader and really manage your stations as part of the business.
So why 2 modules?
Well, the second one focuses on the more trickier disciplinary problems.
Now that I could do with.
They're bringing in facilitators from a specialist employment law firm, so you'll get to learn everything you need to know about the law and legislation.
I've never known what I can and can't do. Be great to know that I can throw the book at them.
But more importantly, they're also experts at what you can do to make sure those disciplinary problems don't arise in the first place. They reckon the vast majority of tribunals could have been avoided with better people management at an earlier stage. One of them's here now, she'll tell you.
I'm Ella Fletcher. I'm a director in the employment team at Ragg Lawrence Graham. We're a firm of international lawyers. I work on a daily basis with HR teams and line managers, dealing with a wide range of people management issues. In fact, I've been doing the job so long that I've given up thinking that I've seen it all. People are so diverse and they behave in so many different ways. There's no point trying to second guess what you might have to deal with. The key to successful management is to have the tools and techniques to deal with situations as they arise, and also to have the confidence to make decisions that are both legally compliant and also accord with an organisation's rules. That's really what we're going to be focusing on with this particular module, Managing My Decisions. I'm going to be working with Interact's active facilitators, taking you through the legal framework and exploring how to deal with conduct situations, grievances, bullying and harassment. But more importantly, we'll be exploring and practicing how to avoid those situations from arising in the first place. And I just wanted to share with you on a personal note my own experience of customer service from London Underground. I found myself standing, staring at a map, trying to work out if I was going north or south. And without any prompting, one of your members of staff approached me, gave me the right information, and I got to my meeting on time. It was a fabulous customer experience. I'm really looking forward to working with you.
Has she been there all the time?
I told you, it's the magic of film. Well, it's not me this time. That really is Anna.
It's just that if she's a lawyer, they charge by the minute, and I bet that's really expensive. What's the last module?
I think you'll like this one.
I'll be the judge of that.
It's an online and live business simulation.
A what?
A business simulation online. They've brought in a company that designs online simulations based around your business. This time it'll be based around managing your business. We're all in teams and we have to decide how we manage all aspects of the business, make decisions and deal with any problems or opportunities that come up.
We.
Well, I'll be doing it too. If you're lucky, I might be in your team.
And on the other hand, I might find someone else.
You might.
That's all right then. So you mean like a computer game?
Online simulation. We're all in teams competing with each other when completing activities or making decisions.
Sounds good. I like computer games. My boys got me into them. And I also like the idea of working with teams and learning. I think it's a great way to support each other through the changes.
Well, the difference with this online simulation is that on the live day, you actually get to meet some of the characters and deal with them in person.
Now that sounds different. Well, I've always wondered what it would be like if Cristiano Ronaldo came to life in FIFA 2014.
I bet you have.
Well, it sounds like I'm going to like this blue line. Sounds interesting.
What's this I hear about you lot getting a computer simulation?
Nice to see you, Chantel. And it's an online business simulation.
Well, in anyone else's language, that's computer game. What do we supervisors get?
Actually, I think it's planned for everyone to play the game.
Online simulation.
Sorry, online simulation. It's planned for them to play the online simulation later on in the programme.
Well, that's good. What else do we get?
Well, you also get a people management and station performance programme.
Well, that's a relief.
Why is that?
Well, do you remember when we had that 2-day development programme?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of that was about performance and team management. Well, we got to practice with these actors. It was really good, but I realised how much I had to learn, and trouble was we ran out of time, and oh God, there's so much more I wanted to have a go at.
Well, this programme's much longer, and it's been run by Interact, the same company that did the 2-day development.
Oh, good. Those actors really knew their stuff.
You'll be all right then.
Do you know what we're going to cover? It's just that I really want to learn how to deal with a lazy sod that won't do anything for himself.
Dave.
How did you know?
Lucky guess.
Honestly, I've tried everything, but nothing seems to work. So if these guys can help,
Why don't you ask them?
I will.
No, why don't you ask one of the actors from Interact? There's one over there.
How did they get there?
According to Jerry, it's the magic of film.
Can I speak to her?
Of course you can.
Hello.
Hello.
They told me that you can tell me about the People Management and Performance Programme.
I can. What would you like to know?
Well, everything really. Oh, I did the Supervisor Programme.
I know. Congratulations on the new role.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm really, really excited, but, well, also a little bit nervous, actually. The whole managing mates thing. I mean, I've never really managed anyone before.
Well, that is exactly why TfL is running this programme, so that you can develop a wide range of skills and look at things like managing a mate.
Well, I definitely need that. So it's going to be run the same as the supervisor training?
We're going to take the same approach, so practice and feedback, but we're going to be looking at a wider range of management skills.
Like what?
Well, you'll look at the CSM role and understand what's expected of you. We'll be looking at formal one-to-one conversations so that you can practice your feedback and get some coaching. We'll look at managing in the day-to-day, so the kind of things that are thrown at you when you're doing the job, as well as managing conflict with the colleague, managing stations, delivering difficult messages. There's going to be a lot to learn.
Blimey, how long is this training going to take? Like 6 months?
10 days. But you'd be surprised what you can learn in 10 days. The first 5 days are just for the CSMs, and in the second 5 days, you're going to be joined by the customer service supervisors.
And what are they going to be doing?
They're going to be practicing their supervising skills. So, for example, how to supervise the CSAs in order to get the best out of them for the customer. Then the supervisor is going to join you in the workshops, and you're going to practice giving them feedback, and then they're going to give you feedback on how you've managed them.
Oh, it sounds a little bit scary. I mean, what if I don't get it right?
Doesn't matter. The point of practice-based learning is that it's done in a safe environment to enable you to practice a wide variety of skills so that you leave at the end with a toolkit of skills available to you in order for you to do the job better. Yeah? It's called practice because that's what we're going to be doing.
It sounds all right, but I mean, it's all very well and good in the workshop, but what happens when I get out into the real world?
OK, so that is exactly why TfL has brought actors in, because we're experts at replicating what goes on in the real world, in your world, so that the scenarios that you practice are as close as possible to what you'll actually experience doing the job. We're also experts at feedback and coaching so that you can develop. One other thing is that in the second 5 days, 2 of those days are going to take place in the workplace, and you're going to be observed by your line manager and an external coach, so you are supported all the way.
Well, thank goodness for that. Cool, thanks.
Anything else you want to know?
No.
So I can go?
Yeah, thanks.
OK,
See ya.
bye.
So how was that?
Yeah, really good. I mean, they seem to have everything covered.
Think they'll be able to deal with Dave?
Well, if they can't, no one can. The good thing here is that during the live sessions in station, we get our first coaching session with an external coach that help will deal with Dave and his performance.
In which case, I'll be able to help you with the legal position.
Oh, you will?
Once I've done my module on that programme, I will.
Good. Now, if this film is running according to script, shouldn't it be time for Carter to make an entrance and ask about the customer service programme?
Someone taking my name in vain?
No, we were just saying you probably want to know about the customer service programme.
No.
You don't?
I already know all about it, and anyway, it's not just for us supervisors, it's for all of us.
How do you know?
Well, we'll be doing it. They told me.
Hello. Hello.
How did they get here?
I'm told it's the magic of film. Haven't you heard of it?
Rings a bell.
And they know about the customer service programme?
Well, of course they do. They're right at the centre of it.
They are? I've never seen them. Do they work at Broadway?
No, they don't work for London Underground.
TfL?
No, they don't work for us at all.
Oh, are they from the training company?
They're more important than that. They're our customers. They know all about the programme. Shall we hear from them?
My name's Hoskins, Richard Hoskins. I've travelled the Tube Monday to Friday for the last 25 years, except for the first 2 weeks in September when I take the other half to Teignmouth. I've always been a bit of a busybody, not averse to rushing off another letter of complaint to TfL outlining what I think needs to improve. And it appears they're finally listening.
My name is Tunde Garunwa. I only have 2 weeks in your fair city. My first visit. So excited. But your public transport system is so big and busy. We have nothing like it in Kampala. It excites and scares me in equal measure. Can you help?
Hello, I'm Jamila. The kids sometimes use the tube for school, and I use it sometimes as well to go shopping or to visit friends or family. It seems to run pretty smoothly most of the time, and when it doesn't, I don't like to complain. Well, I know you're all trying your best, and it must be so difficult with all those customers every day.
Let's be clear. I don't mind complaining. See, it's taken years of campaigning to get any sort of decent accessibility for all users of the tube. And it's still a long way from perfect, if you ask me. I would like to know how you're going to make every journey really matter for commuters.
So I suppose you'd like to know what to expect from the 5-day programme, wouldn't you?
That would be great.
I understand it will be highly interactive, lots of exercising, practicing situations opposite actors, lots of electronic voting every day, like on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. We get that in Kampala. Love it. All vote now. Games and problem solving. Experts to help you with everything. And at the end of the week, they will have this big live pretend station where you can try out everything you have learned that week. Sounds marvelous. I would quite like to have a go for myself.
And you'll all be going through it together, no matter what your position in the London Underground. So it will be a good opportunity to learn from and understand each other.
Can we get some structure into this? Let's start at the beginning. Who's covering day one?
Oh, I think that's me. Day one is all about the heart. How do you feel about customer service and how do we feel? How do you feel about all the changes? Well, it's a big difference to have to start approaching customers when you're used to them approaching you. How do you think you can improve customer service? What type of stations do you work in and what kind of customers do you serve? Well, I live in South Ealing and there are many families with young children, some of whom have trouble with English. We have many needs.
Madam, if we can keep to the point.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's quite all right. But the cameramen do have homes and families awaiting their return once this filming is completed.
Oh, well, I think that's everything from me. Oh, Monday is me and my service, and I think that says it perfectly.
Good. Tuesday is my day. Technology and procedures. You can't run any operation without excellence in both, and many of them are changing. New handhelds, new POMs, new ticketing processes, and new procedures. In a hands-on manner, you will be introduced to them all. Which means, from the following Monday, I, for one, will be expecting you to get it all right, okay? This is a major investment by London Underground, which means me, the taxpayer, and it's up to you to see a return on that investment. It's all designed to improve things for us, but it's down to you to make that so. Don't let me down. Next.
That will be me. As you can see, I'm a wheelchair user, so I represent the diversity of your customers. We're all different, and we all have different needs. Can the system flex to us? And more importantly, can your customer service flex to each of us? We don't all want the same service or the same types of interaction with you. Can you give us what we need? Wednesday was all about practicing flexing your style. It's designed to give each of you the communication skills and people skills to deal with each and every one of us.
Next. Who's got Thursday? Come on.
Thursday? That's me. I am so very sorry. My body clock, you understand, is still on Kampala time.
Yes, get on with it.
Well, Thursday. I have already told you about Thursday. That is the big practice day. The actors will create the station and everything that takes place in it. You will have the opportunity to try out everything that you have learned. Ticketing, flexing your style, big problems, little problems, like a TV documentary. Now, what would you do? And all the while, expert advice from the actors and trainers and everybody. Such fun. Perhaps we might do the same for the Kampala bus service. It is in sore need of improvements.
Thank you, thank you. Now, who has day 5? Does nobody have day 5?
It's all right, guys. I'll take it from here. Friday belongs to us. It's called free practice, which means we get to practice anything we want. Difficult situations, difficult customers, problems with technology, anything we tried earlier in the week that we just want more of. We just make it our own. I like to think of it as a freestyle. What do you think? Pretty good week, eh?
Pretty good set of programmes, if you ask me.
Pretty much everything covered.
Leadership.
Managing the business.
Managing our people.
And not forgetting customer service.
Because at the end of the day, it's all aimed at improving things for our customers.
So if they get it right, the customers will see quite a difference.
You mean if they get it right and we get it right?
Yeah, if we get it right.
If we did get it right, I wonder what it'd be like.
Shortly, we will hear the result of this amazingly prestigious award. But before we do, earlier I was lucky enough to have the chance to speak to the people who conceived and designed the whole transformation programme, which has been the cause of this culture change. Alexandra Bodhi-Tunji, Penny Hazel, Mike Smith and Cassius Powell. And here's what they had to say about just how they did it and what exactly they wanted to achieve. What did you do to make the programme different?
Thank you, Buzz. To be honest, actually, this started back in 2013. I remember publicly the MD making a public statement about managing change differently and wanting to involve staff around how we do that. So one of the great things we started back in 2013 was a series of engagement workshops called Every Journey Matters. And through those workshops, we were able to identify 4 key things that staff felt were really important that we needed to focus on when developing staff to make sure that these changes were successful. Actually, it was quite an interesting experience speaking directly to members of staff, because the reality of it was they actually were able to identify all the core things that we weren't doing. And they helped us in understanding actually what we were very good at, that we therefore didn't need to focus on. As a result of that, we were able to identify the fact that we needed to train and develop our managers to improve the consistency and quality of people management. We were also able to identify the fact that staff wanted training in customer services and ticketing in order to improve their confidence around how we provided ticketing products to our customers. One of the key things that actually most of them talked about was the fact that they wanted to be empowered and they wanted to be trusted to make decisions around where they would stand or where they should be when providing services to customers. And the biggest bone of contention for them was the fact that at that point in time, our leaders and managers were not role modelling excellent customer services. So that was a great start in terms of gathering requirements. We were able to use that, as well as actually take some research from what our customers were telling us at the time of things that were important to them if you really wanted to improve the overall customer experience. And we were able to work with staff and managers alike to put together a set of requirements that really defined what we needed to do differently and why training and development needed to be different to anything we've ever done before in London Underground. And I think at the time it was actually quite interesting because I thought that was a tall order. At the time it was actually very interesting to identify and understand how we were going to deliver that. What staff said to us was that they needed to be involved in how we designed the training programme or the development programme. And as a result of that, we've got staff at every single level in the organisation. So we have CSAs, we had supervisors, we had managers alike, all the way up to directors, actually working collectively together with our partners to design a fit-for-purpose and bespoke programme that was relevant to the Underground. And what staff were very passionate about was the fact that there needed to be a consistent platform for the customer experience, given the fact that we had some inconsistencies and patchy best practice in customer services, but we also knew that there was areas where we needed to improve significantly. And as a result of that, you had staff from trains, service control, stations, and maintenance further on, who worked collectively together to come up with a customer value proposition, which was what staff described as our aspiration around world-class customer services. And today is a great testament of that. We're glad to be here today at the award ceremony, celebrating the success of what everybody within the Underground worked with us in creating. And for us, this is actually one of the best programmes we've delivered in the history of the Underground.
Why was it so important that the programme was different?
Well, you know, over the years, we tried lots of different ways to improve customer service. And on the whole, we'd been successful. But what we always tried to do was to improve customer service by doing things the same way. And we sort of reached a plateau. We couldn't get any further. If you look back then, we were getting new trains, we were getting new signalling systems. So the physical things that we could give our customers were so much better. what we needed to do is to make sure that they got a really, really good customer experience from our staff. That's why changing the way that we did things and bringing in making every journey matter was essential. That's the only way that we could really strive to reach a world-class customer service.
What did it require of all the participants to make it a success?
That's an interesting question. Well, first and foremost, it required a great deal of commitment across all the levels throughout the organisation to effect the change, because the way the change was being delivered required involvement and participation from everyone. So from my perspective, I had to sort of get around to the idea of releasing members of my team, from the customer service assistants right up to my admin and duty managers, and myself as well, to attend workshops that tended to run for minimum for about a day's length. So we had to do a lot of commitment to time. In my environment, obviously that sometimes costs money, but we had to commit to achieving that. And staff really enjoyed being part of shaping the future for the organisation, in the way that making every journey matter has evolved. So yeah, it was quite useful to involve everyone.
When you started all those years ago, back in 2013, what was your vision?
Our vision was around transformation. Gosh, it seems a long time ago now, but what we were looking at then was real challenges about growth in numbers. We were seeing the improvement of the upgrades. We were looking forward to Crossrail and the subsurface signalling system being completely renewed. And we knew that we were going to have to do something quite different to deal with all those increases in customers right across the network. So it was all about transformation, and particularly around transformation of our customer service provision. And for that meant changing everything. That meant completely changing the way that we evaluated and recruited people. It meant changing the way that we got our leaders to manage people. It meant changing absolutely everything in between that as well. And it's about changing all those processes, changing the way that people behave, changing the way that people acted, that's seen a real transformation delivered in the way that we provide customer service.
Welcome back. What's this? Yeah, I've just been told that the award for the best customer service team is about to be announced.
And the winner of the Best Customer Service Team 2018 goes to Jerry, Joy, Chantal and Carter.
That really is incredible. Here we have a team who, most people's estimation, a few years ago weren't doing very well at all, and just look at what they have achieved. It just goes to show what can be achieved when people get together behind a shared vision. Team, congratulations. Can I grab you for a moment? Tell me, what was the reason for your success? Just how did you manage to effect such a transformation?
I trust her to make her own great decisions.
I trust her to make her own great decisions, and for him to back the great decisions that I've made.
I trust her to back the great decisions I make, and for him to make some great decisions too.
I trust that decisions I make every time a customer needs me will be backed by her, and him.
Oh wow, it's buzzword. Oh, hello again. Thanks for your help the other day with my elderly mum. It made such a difference to my day.
Oh, you're welcome. It really was a pleasure.
Thanks to all of you. Oh, I'm sorry I'm interrupting. What were you saying?
I respect her because every time I do something good, she notices and says thank you.
I respect him because I see him every day doing what he can to help the customer. I respect her because if I'm struggling with something, she helps me. And when I'm doing well, she notices and says thank you.
I respect her because she does a great job valuing and inspiring the team to succeed. And I respect him because he lets me get on with things, but always notices when I've done a good job and says thank you.
I respect her and him because they do a good job. And sometimes they even thank me.
Well, I don't know what you've done, but the bottom line is... Oh, which camera are we on? You're doing a great job, so thank you all.
I think I'm going to cry.
My vision for London Underground is for us to be a world-class tube for this world-class city that is London. And the only way that we're going to be able to achieve that is by ensuring that we have our passengers, our customers, at the very centre of everything each of us does. So whatever job people are doing across the Underground, whether it's in engineering or operations or in leading parts of the network, I want to ensure that everyone is properly equipped and has everything at their disposal to be able to do the job they need to take us to the next level of delivery across the organisation over the months and years ahead. And that's what this programme of transformation is really about. It's about ensuring you're supported to continue to do the great job that you're doing for London.